Good afternoon from Central Virginia. It is mid-March and today is actually hot, which is not ideal for certain plants this time of year. This is the time of year when I usually plant my parsnips, and that's exactly what I'm going to do today. Now, parsnips are long, they take a long time to germinate, and they're a little bit persnickety, meaning they need to be damp, and it's all that time. They need that moisture to get the germination going, which can be challenging when it's this hot outside. They're also extremely slow to germinate in the heat. So it's better to plant them when it's cooler. This is when I normally do it, but today just happens to be a hot day, hence the short sleeves. So let's see, I will plant these parsnips and they will take a long time to grow. You just leave them in, and usually I harvest mine around Thanksgiving time. I've even harvested them for Christmas dinner, as well as even in January this year, late January this year, I was still harvesting parsnips. They don't taste great when they are in the heat. So it's really best to let the frost happen. That brings up the sugar level in them. And if you roast them, pristine and perfect and delicious. Don't knock it till you try it. It's a really underrated vegetable, in my humble opinion. So I'm planting one of my tried and true parsnips. I am planting a Harris model parsnip, and I'm doing a new one for me, which is Hablange Weiss. And that is supposed to have a thicker top, which makes it a little bit easier to harvest. Harvesting parsnips takes some finesse. You've got to carefully dig them down, but don't cut the roots. And they have long roots, so pulling them out. The other thing you need to know about parsnips is clay soil is really hard on them. And so they really work well in my no-dig system, as you'll see, because they have loose enough soil to really be able to grow well. And I've had great luck growing them for the past 3 seasons. Otis is out here with me today, and he says, Mom, it's a little bit warm for me, but he's loving being in the garden and outside. He's a little bit of a shadow dog for me. He loves following me around. Here are the brassicas that I planted earlier. This is the bed that I am going to plant my parsnips in. And notice I've got some boards right there. That is an essential part of parsnip planting because it's going to help keep the soil cool, sort of like the way that you plant carrots. The first thing I need to do is sort of mark out where I'm going to plant these, and I'm going to do that by kind of pressing down in here, digging a little. Push this mulch back. As things begin to grow, I will sort of remulch the area. The mulch here is, the soil is ground leaves that I gathered in the fall, and then I just ground them up with my weed whacker. I'm just going to start by turning in this soil a little bit, kind of loosening it up. Last year, ooh, wow, big, huge worms. They are out in force today, and they love the mulch that I have in here and all the organic matter. Okay, I'm hitting a rock. And if you hit a rock when you're looking around to dig parsnips, it's a real good idea to pull it out of the way because parsnips really don't like rocks. It makes them fork and split, and that's not so nice. That's not a nice feature in a parsnip. Yeah, this soil is perfect. This soil was amended, as all my beds are, in the fall. I did start by putting down some organic granular fertilizer, just a low 343 NPK. Added in some alfalfa pellets on top of that, wetted that down, and then I added about 1 inch of compost. I just put the leaves on top, and that's really all there is to it. Oh, this soil is full of worms, and that is good news for growing parsnips. All right, this is pretty good and loose. This is all smoothed out. Here are the seeds. They're fairly sizable seeds and very thin. Now, the thing about these seeds is they have to be used within the year. And so saving them really doesn't do you much good. Plus, because of the germination rates not always being so great, I'm going to overseed them. So I'm just going to start by making a little row here with my finger. Okay. And then I'm just going to start putting them in. I'm going to put a seed every, maybe 2 or 3 inches. We'll see if they grow. I will be thinning them out significantly, but might as well overseed them because these seeds cannot be saved. Hablanga Weiss. Okay, just every inch or so. We'll see what kind of germination we get. I've never had a bad problem with these. People said parsnips are so hard to grow, and I might be jinxing myself here, but they really, for me, they haven't been that difficult if you just be really patient, because they take so long to grow. But the other thing is you just kind of plant them and leave them, and that, that's that. And the cool thing is then you get something to eat in the winter time when the rest of your garden has pretty much gone to bed. Okay, we're going to cover these up, get good soil contact. Good soil contact is important. Nice and covered, yeah. Get you covered up. Okay, tamp it down really well. A really good water. Cover this back up. Now I am having a problem here because this thing does not want to go all the way down. So my solution is going to be, you have to think on your feet. I'm going to go get some cardboard, put that down, and then I'll put this on top of it. Right, I've got some cardboard, and what I'm going to do with it is I have wet it down really well, and I am just going to cover up these things with cardboard. Now you'll notice that I don't have, it's not long enough, so I'm just going to pull this off, put that there, pull this off, put that here, put this here. Okay, so we're going to get that nice and flat. It's wet, so it's going to adhere really well. Okay, it will give something in there. That will help just sort of dampen it down. I can also bring some heavy things to put on here as well, which I may end up doing. And so we have Parsnips 2024 in the ground and ready to go. So I'll start checking for germination in about 7 days. After that, I'll check it every day. And the minute you begin to see germination, you pull up the cardboard or the boards or whatever you have that's down there, and that will enable them to get the light and they will flourish. So thank you so much for watching today. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. If you want to know more about my channel, I'm a no-dig gardener in Central Virginia. I also love to cook what I grow. So consider subscribing if you haven't already, and share this with your friends. So take care. Bye.